Okay, good evening, good afternoon to all of our amazing wellness advocates in Europe. Thank you, firstly, guys, for taking the time to be with us today. And welcome as well to our first doTERRA Social Europe webinar. Really excited to go through some of the exciting features and tips that we'd like to share with you today to hopefully allow you to make the most of the platform if you have signed up already. And if you haven't, also to give you great insight into the features and benefits that the platform can provide. Now, many of you may already be aware of the platform. It's been available globally for some time. However, we have around 3,000 existing wellness advocates that have been using the platform that have been from Europe. And the feedback that we have received is that they really couldn't get the most out of the platform because it didn't contain Europe content. So over the last 12 months, our team have been working really hard to populate the platform, and we are delighted that this week we were able to launch a section that has Europe-specific content for you to allow you to schedule, post ideas, different tips on how to make the most of your social media, personal platforms. And we're really excited, hopefully, for you to see today how you can get more out of the content that we've already provided in the platform for you.
Di avere tutti voi
and to do
oggi qua
this, I'd first
presenti
like to
a questo
introduce
webinar.
our creative content specialist for Europe, Inej
E per questo sono anche felicissimo di dare il benvenuto alla nostra content creator, la nostra specialista dei contenuti per il team marketing. E questa è Inej.
The company that helped us realize the Europe content.
Dopo di lei sentiremo Raquel, che è la nostra diciamo partner dal lato dei developer della piattaforma. Quindi
Hi everyone and welcome to this webinar.
Benvenuti.
Thank you so much for being here.
Grazie mille per
We
essere
are really
qua
excited
stasera.
to launch doTERRA Social in Europe.
Siamo super emozionati di lanciare doTERRA Social in Europa.
Why we are doing this and the content that we have prepared and are gonna keep preparing every month for you.
Il contenuto che abbiamo preparato per voi questa
in the
sera.
platform, you're gonna find
nella piattaforma
hundreds, thousands of
troverete
assets,
centinaia,
of pictures,
migliaia
of imagery
di
with our
immagini, di
products,
foto dei nostri
PNG
prodotti.
images without backgrounds.
Sono immagini
That will
PNG
really allow
con o
you
senza background.
create your own posts, create
Che
your own
veramente vi
content,
daranno la possibilità
and
di
just
essere super
have
creativi
all
con i
in
vostri
one place.
post.
So you
E
save
vi darà la
time.
possibilità di avere
You also
tutto in
have
un unico
a lot of
posto.
ideas. So we have
Inoltre vi
folders
darà un sacco
that
di
highlight
idee.
products, that have recipes,
Ci saranno dei folder,
DIYs,
delle cartelle
and
che
just
contengono ricette
materials that you
e ci
can
saranno varie
use to
cartelle,
share
diciamo, a tema.
how great our essential oil are. Raquel is also going to talk to you about
Raquel
how you
parlerà
can use
dopo di
these
me
tools and
e vi
edit
racconterà
them
meglio come poter
and
utilizzare
just
questo
really
strumento di
make them
lavoro
your
fantastico
own.
e come
And
veramente
every
creare
month
dei contenuti
we
che
are
siano
going to
completamente
prepare
vostri.
a 30-month content calendar which is seasonal, which
Ogni mese vedrete la
is
cartella
directed to the
europea, diciamo,
promotions that we have every
popolarsi
month.
con il
So
materiale
in
pertinente alle
October,
promozioni del mese,
as
per
you probably
esempio.
know by now,
Quindi in
the product
ottobre,
of the
come lo
month is
saprete già,
rosemary. We
prodotto del
have
mese
an
rosmarino,
amazing
sicuramente lo
enrollment
sapete,
promotion, so you
e
will have
c'è
assets
ovviamente
there
la promozione sulle
that are already
iscrizioni, tutto ciò che trovate
actually to go live
tutto ciò che
for you to
è di
post
pertinenza del mese di ottobre
related to the
è già sulla
promotions.
piattaforma.
Whenever
Quindi ogni
there's
mese cambierà,
logos coming
anche a seconda
or
delle
seasonal
promozioni, ovviamente.
items, you will have the assets there. So it's really
Quindi anche tutti i contenuti
one
stagionali
stop
saranno
place for you to
accessibili
create
da
content for
un'unica
your
cartella,
social
che è la
media.
cartella europea.
And because we know we have people from all over Europe, the content you'll find a lot of editable templates.
E perché abbiamo molti membri che utilizzeranno la piattaforma da tutta Europa, abbiamo ovviamente vi diamo la possibilità di creare i contenuti nella vostra lingua. Questo vuol dire che il testo è modificabile.
This is an overview.
Quindi questa è stata una, diciamo, visione generale molto veloce. E adesso passo la parola a Raquel, che appunto è la nostra partner di Promo Republic, i nostri developer della piattaforma. Quindi grazie mille Raquel, passo la parola a te.
Thank you, Alex and Ines. Can you hear me?
Grazie Alex.
Yes, we can.
Perfect. Hello, everyone. I'm very excited to be here today. As Alex and Ines mentioned, we've been working together very closely to get to this point of launching finally to the European market. So today, we're going to walk through a few important pieces of why social media is important in your day-to-day, what that looks like in the landscape of the European social media landscape, how to sell on social media, and more importantly, the ins and outs of doTERRA Social, how to change the languages, how to make sure it's working for you and your European market. So we'll dive into all of that. Before I dive in, I did want to direct anyone who has questions or comments to the question and answer box. We have our support team on standby, so they're ready to answer any and all of your questions. And as you probably know, this is also being translated live, so this is a really exciting webinar. I'm going to do my best to speak slowly because I do speak quite quickly, but I'm very excited. So with that, let's dive in. So speaking of social media, which is essentially why we're here in the first place, it's really important to understand what this means to your business as a wellness advocate, as in any scope of business. Social media is now more important than it ever was, given the events that we went through last year. As it highlights here, over 4.48 billion people are using social media, and that's over half of the global population. So that means if you're not on social media in some capacity, others are, and you're leaving your potential market on the table. So on the right-hand side of the screen, it highlights a few key stats of what the social media landscape is now. 67% of internet users are likely to buy from brands that they follow on social. And that's because you're learning about the products, you're seeing it in your feed, and you're engaging with it constantly. So it's really important that not only are big brands and companies following this social media methodology, but also you as an independent distributor, because this is your personal brand. This is why people are choosing to follow you and your journey with doTERRA. So it's always really interesting to highlight a few of these statistics. But looking towards Europe, this shows what the top social networks are all across Europe and the main channels for each and every country. And we did highlight the top 5 countries with social media usage. And what's really interesting is that social media in general has a really high saturation rate in Europe. You can see that across every single country here and the major countries within the European market as well, like the UK, like Germany. Facebook and Instagram are the top 2. So this is where your largest pool of audience is. So that's why it's really important to think of how am I going to keep relevant by posting consistently on social media, and why I'm doing that in the first place. So we take a look at what personal branding is, because this has really emerged as the perfect way to establish credibility and authority and your voice on a digital landscape. Now more than ever, people are realizing that branding is no longer restricted to, let's say, the influencers, the celebrities, and even businesses. This has really shifted to the personal level on social media. Every individual has a voice and a story which they are sharing, and whether they're associated with a business or not, you can really work towards developing a really strong personal brand and image to keep people engaged, and that keeps them coming back to your social media feed time and time again. But what a lot of people don't understand is that personal branding is not only about creating and following marketing strategies, but it's really more about knowing who you are, what you're doing, and what your audience is following you for, which ultimately leads them to trusting you and buying. So people are making the purchasing decision overall online, especially given, again, the past year that we faced. The digitization that happened in March of 2020 was rapid, and every single industry changed overnight. People are not, going to buy some kind of bundle of features that may or may not improve their life. What they're really after is the value and what they're going to get from it and what that adds to their life. So it's that reason why they follow you, and that's really how social media, as you can see by this funnel, enhances that overall landscape, because your social media presence, just by posting regularly, makes them aware. You're sharing really important educational pieces like the really interesting facts about the oils, your favorite recipes. People are liking it, and the more they see it and understand your story and what you love about it, that's what's going to lead them through the funnel. So this is really important to think of what the goal of social media is in your personal brand. And you can see this numerous benefits, not only again for the big brands, but for independent representatives as well. The more active you are, the more successful you will be overall. And you can see this with an increase in sales opportunities and a really great portfolio that you can build directly from here. So it's really important, as you can see, I've highlighted time and time again, to be active on social and to have your voice out there. But some of you may wonder, maybe you're new to social or maybe you're a pro, but sometimes it can be quite manual. And as Alex and Ines highlighted, you may not know where to get really great content or how to spend 20 minutes instead of 2 hours on social. So this is really where doTERRA Social comes into place, because all of your daily tasks and checklists that you can do are now bundled into maybe the front end of the week. You're spending one day and a couple hours of that day dedicated to social, as opposed to checking every single day, because doTERRA Social is here to really help grow the business through an untapped resource of content that's constantly refreshed month over month. You have a built-in scheduling feature, so we have some Diamond Wellness advocates that are scheduling 6 months in advance evergreen content, and then they add in that monthly promotions or the BOGOs or whatever events that are coming up into the platform. Then analytics. This is perhaps an underutilized portion of social media marketing, because you're now able to see the results of social. Are your posts performing well? Are they not? And even the layman's breakdown of what this is. So this is a really great way for you to see that. And we now also made this on the go. So you have the mobile app. So again, it's the content in one place, as you can see. Then we have really incredible usage of the platform. In fact, earlier this summer, we broke this amazing milestone of 1.5 million posts published on the platform, which is a huge number. And since then, we've smashed that out of the park. So you can see wellness advocates are using this in mass to make their lives so much easier through the content scheduling, the analytics, and so on. So with that said, now I'm going to dive into the platform itself. So this is where things get really exciting, so we can walk through this together. I'm going to start off with the sign-up process and what that looks like, and then you'll be able to dive into the platform yourselves. Feel free to follow along. You can see what this looks like here. So, where does doTERRA Social live? This is social.doterra.com. You can access this directly by entering the domain. We're also on trainings.doterra.com as well. And on our landing page, all of that information, which we will share in the chat box afterwards. And I have a slide towards the end as well, which highlights this. So the first thing you'll notice is this lovely purple button here, which enables you to log into the platform. Now, the way that this is done is through your doTERRA Social login. You enter your doTERRA ID and password, and then you're in, and your account is automatically created for you, and your trial is set up. So that is really easy as 1, 2, 3. Just simply logging in with your existing doTERRA ID. And all wellness advocates that are new to the platform get a free 2-week trial, so you can test it out and see what it is all about before you make any decisions that are right for you. The next step is to connect your social media profiles to the platform themselves. So you can see we support the top 6 social platforms here. We have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, personal and business, and I'll highlight the difference in a moment. LinkedIn, Pinterest, and Google My Business. Now, it's important that if you want to publish to Facebook, we currently support Facebook groups and Facebook business pages only, and that is because of Facebook's own restrictions. As for Instagram, you see there are 2 options here. We recommend for everyone setting up an Instagram business page as early in your doTERRA journey as possible, because not only do you get enhanced features like direct posting, first comments, and I'll highlight all of those features in a moment, but you also get enhanced analytics directly through the Facebook Instagram API. So you get a lot more when you have an Instagram business page. If you are connecting your Instagram personal page, you must approve all content with an extra step in our doTERRA social mobile, which I will highlight in a moment for you. The rest of the social media profiles are pretty easy to log in. Again, you just need your username and password, and that's it. And it's important that you must be logged into the browser as you're logging in, because that's how the connectivity is made. And again, this is the first step. I'm currently operating out of a demo environment for today. So everything that I'm doing is in my own little area. And you'll see some social media platforms here may be relevant to you, maybe not. Like Google My Business, if you don't have a brick and mortar location, maybe not be the most relevant. So you have the purview to pick and choose what is right for you. So I have some test pages connected. I have an Instagram business account, a Facebook business account, and 2 Pinterest boards connected. So now let's walk through the calendar before we get into the really juicy stuff today, which is the content and all of the hard work that Ines knows and the entire Europe team have been doing. So within the calendar right now, you see that it is blank. You have the days of the week. You can click on upcoming events, which highlights national registered dates, important dates in history, pop culture, sports history, all here. And this is just to be a launching point, to be a source of inspiration for you as you're creating content. So you can see, okay, today is National Inner Beauty Day, and we can talk about what inner beauty means and relate that back to my journey or my personal brand story. So this is really great here. Then we also have time slots. So time slots are your friend, especially if you're starting out your journey, because this is a little bit of AI, artificial intelligence, which highlights the best time to post based on your time zone, as well as follower activity on the specific social platform that you are posting to. And if you want them off, you can just toggle them off here. So now my time slots are on, so I can choose what to post and when. And you can also rename these by turning off what we call autopilot and edit your content plan. And that's really helpful if you want to have set categories for days of the week, almost as a reminder to you, which highlights the recipe on one day, a fun fact on another, a personal photo on another day. So you can set up all of those reminders here. Then you can also toggle between week and monthly view, so you can see what that looks like. And again, you can publish as far into the future as you want. We have some really great webinars on our landing page in English at this time, which highlight the past usage of scheduling 6 months in advance, as I said. So that's great. And then if you're ever in the front and you want to come back to the specific day and time, that is here. So as we can see, my platform is in English right now, and we know that the doTERRA social European market is vast and has several different languages as well. So what we can do is to change that, importantly, is to go to our settings. And right here in the top side, you can see all of the languages that we support. So we have German, English, Spanish, French, Italian, Russian, and Ukrainian at this time. So if I wanted to have my platform in Spanish, simply just click that. And now we can go
Per esempio,
back
adesso
into
vediamo
the
la
platform. You'll see
piattaforma con le
that everything
configurazioni
is
completamente in
translated.
spagnolo.
So that's an
Voi
important
potete fare
first
la
step
stessa identica
to
cosa con l'italiano,
change
di modo che
your
anche i tasti,
language here to make sure that it's the best
e
user
tutto ciò che
experience for
vedete
you.
sarà
So that's the first
ovviamente in
tip.
italiano.
So now that we have our bearings of the calendar itself, let's dive into the content, because that's where the true value is behind this, and again, all of the hard work from the different markets. So here you can see all of the post ideas that we have, and as Ina says, there's thousands in here. So we divide this into the different markets. So you have the US, and Europe, Australia, and Russia as the main markets here. But obviously we're going to focus on Europe today. So this is broken down between the monthly promotions that we have, as well as English and German content. At this time, the monthly posts that we're creating are in German and English, and based on demand, we will expand this to other languages. So always, if you have questions, feedback on the platform, feel free to contact us directly, and we'll take your feedback to heart. And that's not even just on languages. That's if you have an idea on a feature maybe you want to see on the platform, let us know, because we really take all of that to heart and into publication. And frankly, that's how we're even able to launch in the European market. It's because you, the wellness advocates, demanded it. So with that said, let's walk through the different categories of content here and how to utilize them. So if you see, we have monthly promotions, and this is, as Ines highlighted, we have Rosemary on display front and center here, because this is the content of the month. Then you have the different languages for the content. I saw some Finnish there, and you can see all of that here.
E potete vedere tutto da questa cartella
for you to use. And it's really easy to use this. And I'm going to show you what you do.
Ed è davvero facile usare questo post.
And now I have a post, and now I can cite my caption here,
semplicemente aggiungere
and choose my social media channels.
testo che volete
so if I just want to publish this to my Instagram, that's not a problem as well.
Sul social
And
che
now
volete
I can
utilizzare,
click
per esempio
schedule.
Instagram.
And this is going to schedule, let's go for tomorrow.
Post, diciamo, per
and
domani.
now we can see this directly in the calendar.
Nel
so that's literally how easy it is to take a piece of content from the library and schedule it. And you can do that for any and all content that you see within the platform. So that's not even just the monthly promotions. But why I came back to the monthly promotions is, as Ines said, it's all about customization. All about how to make the content yours, put your personal stamp on it, your personal brand, whether that's your language, your voice, your tone, your personal logo, all of that's here. So what you are seeing now is we're taking a blank image of just Rosemary, because it is a product of the month. And now I'm going to change the size to an Instagram post, because I want it to be square. And it's really as easy as this, dragging the content into the center. Now I have a perfect square for Instagram. And then you can come to the objects. So you can see, if we scroll down, we have a lot of European stickers here. So this is great if I ever wanted to drag anything, drag and drop in. And it simply works like this. And now we're building posts that we love. Additionally, what we can do is add text, and you can type in
e potete
anything you want, reposition
in ogni
it,
lingua,
make it
riposizionarlo.
Your story. So if you want to highlight, this is the products of the month, or your favorite oil, or how you're utilizing this. Maybe we want some more blank space, so we can add something here.
Se volete
più
spazio bianco per aggiungere del testo,
so there is that more blank space around
insomma,
here.
siete veramente
It's all up to you how you want to edit the
liberi
content. There's so many different possibilities on adding your personal stamp to this. That it's really great that they not only have completed posts for you to do, but you can build your own as well.
E la cosa
So
bella
I'm
è
just going to
potete,
use this
diciamo,
for the sake of my
il
demonstration.
vostro post.
You can see this here. Once you click the use, it is ready to go. So you're able to schedule this and see it directly in your calendar as well. So from here, what we do is, sorry, my internet just cut out at a very opportune time.
La mia connessione internet sta facendo
Here
un
we
po'
go.
dei problemi.
We're back.
Ok, siamo tornati.
Now I can schedule this again to here
Possiamo schedularlo
and
di
choose a
nuovo
different day because we know I have a schedule for
scegliere ad esempio
tomorrow.
un
Let's
altro
go to
day,
Sunday.
un altro giorno, scusate.
And now it's directly in my calendar. So
Abbiamo
that's just some of the
scelto il 9
ways to
ottobre.
utilize the calendar. But let's
Quindi il
dive
calendario è davvero
into
facilissimo da usare.
the European content once more. So again, you'll
Andiamo a
have
vedere di nuovo
new
il
month
contenuto
coming in
europeo.
here, or new content every month coming in
Questa
here
pagina delle
based on
nuove
the promotions
promotion
as
sarà
well.
aggiornata
You'll
tutti i
have
mesi.
blank images to really start your post. So that's like this
Avete delle
rosemary example
immagini
that
molto
we had,
semplici con
where you
tutti
can
i
go from
nostri
here into
oli
the
e i
graphics
nostri blend.
editor and create contents. Then you have your personal care section. Again, this is the starting point for you to utilize and create as much content as you want. Supplements.
C'è la subcartella degli integratori, diffusori, le varie linee prodotti come un Gardi, Blue.
Now this is the exciting part. So templates. This is all editable, and what we mean by that is when you come in here, you can see I can edit the text here, I can maybe move the image around, I can change what I want about this, and this is helpful maybe if I'm taking this content and translating it to my market, or if I want to just add maybe a personal logo here, the objects are here, so every month as well, we will be providing the content for you to utilize. That plot is always being built. And that's not only just for your market, that's how we operate with all markets.
E poi voi lo potete espandere e rendere veramente.
As mentioned, we do have German too. So you have the templates in German
abbiamo una
here, and
subcartella
it's
in
that
tedesco.
same principle. If I wanted to
Ed è lo stesso
edit
principio.
this,
Se voglio
I'm
modificare questo
happy
post, ad
to do
esempio,
so. If I wanted to add maybe another step on it, you can, or add your logo if you have a personal logo. And it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. And what we're doing, we're taking content in the library, then we're scheduling it into our calendars. And that's how we're building out this robust calendar system. And especially if we have promotions coming on a monthly basis, you can do so, fill it up for the month, and you spend maybe that first of the month to create all of this post for you based on the hard work that Ines and the team are doing. And one really great way to utilize the types of content here are not only by searching. So you can search, let's say if you wanted Europe only content, you can search here and it will pull all of the European content. Or what we can do is if we go back into the post ideas, you can also filter. So we have different types of content in here. A lot of the examples that I highlighted today are all images or templates. So we mean by that it is editable, we call that a template. But there's also videos, there's GIFs, there's articles. So if you want to post a video, not a problem, post a video. You can upload your own videos, you can share a video directly from here. We are video compatible in terms of publishing, so absolutely feel free to share that. You can see a lot of these are really great videos all about the citrus bloom right now, so you can absolutely schedule this when you have videos on that are for your market.
Però vedrete anche
so that is all about the content in the platform. Again, we're really excited. We just launched this yesterday to have all of the content in the platform, and we're really proud of all of the hard work that Ines and the entire doTERRA Europe marketing team have done to get us to this point. Hours and hours of work through getting the perfect images, the perfect copy in here. And you'll notice that some images do actually come with copy, like this does. And this is as a guide. You can use this, you can change it, you can do your own. All of that is here for you. But I know it popped in and out of the graphics editor a bit. I did want to highlight this in further detail, so you really get some really great insight as to what can be done here. So the first is the ability to resize your images. You can enter your own size if you want. or you can enter some of the preset sizes as well.
Ci sono anche delle,
so that would change the size of this.
Diciamo delle
Then the next
misure
is
già
if you have a picture
preselezionate per i
here, like
post
we
su
do,
Facebook,
you can
su
see there's a
Instagram.
few features that you can change the brightness, you can change
Potete
the
modificare
contrast,
la luminosità,
saturation
il
of
contrasto,
colors
la saturazione,
here,
potete modificare
as
i
well as
colori
the transparency. So
leggermente.
this is a pretty standard editor, and then as you get more
Questo
content
strumento
here,
è
you
uno
also get
strumento
layers,
piuttosto
so
standard che
you
trovate
can
in tutti
adjust the layers on your platform.
diciamo gli
So if
strumenti
we go
di
to
modifiche
the
foto, come
left-hand
ad esempio
side, you see
Canva,
me
se
pop in and out of this area as well. You have our sections here. So the first is an integrated photo stock library. This is a conglomerate of 4 different photo stocks and all fully licensed for your use. And what we mean by that is when you're publishing on social, you want to make sure that you have the rights to post on social. So that way you can post whatever you want. So let's say I want to create a rosemary photo based on the products of the month. Really easy to do so. So now we're taking this. Now we have rosemary in the background. Now I can come into the objects. So again, objects, as you see me lightly use, is the area where you can come in here, find an oil you're looking for, and simply drag it into the platform. It's really easy and really fun to do when you're creating your own posts. So I have a picture of rosemary, now I have rosemary oil, and you can start to build your curated piece of content just like that. And make it more aesthetic. For the sake of time, I'm just highlighting the key features here. Then it's text. So we have pretty standard text box. You can edit the text, you can choose the font that you want to do, change the colors, you can enter custom colors by entering the color code. You can change the size, the spacing between text, the line height. So it's really quick and easy to use when having the content here. And then a really interesting tab here is the saved. So this saves all templates that you want. So let's say I really love what I made here and I want to come back to it. That's not a problem at all. You click save and then it saves it directly here. And you can see on my left-hand side, I use doTERRA Social to edit the post for the doTERRA Social Facebook group. So all of that is done in the platform as well. So it's really easy to save something and come back to it as you want to do. And then from here, you might have heard me reference quite a bit today the personal branding, adding your personal logo, whatever that looks like. So you do have this area here where you can add your logo. So you can see this is the Premier Republic logo, or we actually have doTERRA Social right here. So you can add this to anything. So let's pretend this was a logo. You can upload that so you can always easily drag and drop into the platform. So that's a little bit about the in-depth graphics editor. And the way to do it, you can create your post. You can click, as you saw, edit on the post. You can go directly into the editor itself. And from here as well, in this post editor window, you can go back to the library if we want to add more than one image per post, so to speak. Or if I want to add a video, you can upload your own, or you can create from scratch, which also brings you to the editor. So there's a lot of ways that you can highlight the different doTERRA content. And then scheduling. Let's briefly walk through the scheduling aspects. You have schedule, which schedules for a specific date and time of your choosing. You can choose whether this repeats or not. Then you have publish now, which publishes it immediately upon clicking this. You have add to time slots, which adds this to the next available time slot in your calendar. So this goes back to what we're talking about before here with the time slots.
E quindi il calendario riconoscerà il primo
All
giorno
that.
in cui
So
non
then
avete nulla,
from
diciamo di
here,
prenotato, e
assegnerà
il post a quel determinato giorno.
Hey, Raquel.
Yeah?
Hey, would you mind changing the navigation back to English, if that's okay?
Of course. Sorry about that, everybody.
Great, thank you.
Abbiamo cambiato la navigazione di nuovo all'inglese, così che si capisca un pochino meglio.
So within the platform, the scheduling is done here as well. You can create posts almost virtually from everywhere in the platform. So that's that scheduling component. So the way the content is broken down is the content first, whether you create your own, upload your own, or utilize the library. Then it's the scheduling component where you can schedule
che utilizzate la libreria delle risorse, potete schedulare post per il futuro, potete pubblicarli seduta
Then
stante.
the analytics. Unfortunately, mine is zeros across the board because I'm in a complete demo environment and I do not have social media followers and any of these accounts because this is purely just for demonstration purposes. But as you come in here, you can see how your social followers are growing, what your engagement is, and so on. And if you have questions on what any of this means, you can hover over it, and we do have some really great definitions of everything in layman's terms, so to
Quando
speak.
cliccate sul tastino
So that's the
o
full
passate sul
circle of the
tastino sulla
platform
i di
itself.
informazioni, vi dà più informazioni
But
più
before
informazioni
we
su
close out,
ogni
we
punto.
had
Quindi
to spend some time dedicated
ad
to
esempio
doTERRA
sull'audience growth
social,
o
the
sugli
app.
altri tastini che abbiamo visto prima,
So
come ad esempio
let me
followers
switch
growth
to
o
my
l'engagement,
phone.
eccetera.
And we can dive directly into the platform. I'm sorry, I believe I'm restricted from sharing the phone at this time. So what we'll do is we'll record a separate
la vista da
mobile training that I will upload to the landing page to make sure that everyone is able to see the mobile app. But we do have a mobile app. It is available for Android and iOS devices, and we are constantly updating it as well. So we'll be able to make sure that you are utilizing this to the absolute fullest and on the go. So as you can see by today's webinar, we've done quite a lot to the platform since we launched, especially when it comes to adding European content. And even today, on the webinar, we have our entire support team here to help and chat in Spanish, German, English, Russian, etc. So that is the Promo Republic team. So if you have any questions at all, you always contact us. And we'll be happy to help through our chat, and you may have seen this in the platform here.
I nostri esperti
Ready to
vi
go, and
risponderanno
our team is always happy to assist. Also, if you prefer to get help on your own, not a problem at all. You can just click on help or search for articles, and we have all of this written and recorded on how to get started. So that is a really helpful tip as well. And then we also have a lot of resources for you. So we have all of these that we want you to save, bookmark, and so on. And I'll put this in the chat for everyone. So this is where doTERRA Social lives. If you have technical problems, questions, need help with the actual platform of doTERRA Social, you can check doTERRA@promorepublic.com or again contact us via chat. And our landing page, we have evolved that into a really great resource center, and that is get.promorepublic.com/doTERRA Social, available in English and in German. And all of the webinars that we have will populate here. We will have
questa
the
pagina con
recordings
tutti
of
i
this all
webinar
saved here.
riguardanti
So we
doTERRA
recommend
Social.
bookmarking this as well, so you're able
Quindi consigliamo di
to always get
salvarvela
the latest
tra i
information
vostri
from the
segnalibri
doTERRA Social
nei
team
vostri browser.
for the European market. So we're really excited to have this available.
Siamo super emozionati di avere questa nuova feature available.
So that is just simply search doTERRA Social
E in ultimo, come potete vedere, abbiamo creato una community su Facebook, quindi che si chiama semplicemente doTERRA Social. Potete chiaramente entrare in questa pagina e cominciare a interagire con gli altri wellness advocate in Europa. Se avete delle domande, vi chiediamo di pubblicarle in inglese, di pubblicarle nella sezione Q&A.
Per
quanto riguarda i prezzi,
doTERRA Social is free for 2 weeks upon your
abbiamo già
sign up.
detto che
And then
l'intera
after
funzionalità è
that,
completamente gratuita
this
per le prime 2
is the
settimane.
pricing plans that we have
E poi
available
questi
for
chiaramente
everyone.
sono i
And this is
prezzi.
per year. So doTERRA
E
Social
questi
is quite
prezzi
literally pennies per day.
riguardano
And
tutto
this
l'anno.
is the difference of
Quindi come vedete
really
veramente
social media
poca
channels is the
irrisoria
only difference between
per
this.
tutto l'anno. Se
So
fate il
if
calcolo è
I'm
qualche
new and
centesimo
I'm just
al
starting out on
giorno.
social, that's not a problem. You start off
E
with
potete
2
scegliere a
social
seconda del
pages.
tipo di utilizzatore
And if I
che
just pop
siete,
into my calendar
se avete
quickly,
appena incominciato a
let's say
utilizzare
I
i
just
social,
have
magari
Facebook and Instagram connected,
potete
those
andare
count
con
as
una
2.
membership un
So
po'
since I
più
also have
economica,
2
mentre se
Pinterest
siete
boards
degli
here,
esperti
this is a
volete
total of
connettere
4
tutti e 6
pages.
i vostri
So
canali
going
social,
back to
magari andate
pricing,
sulla
you can see that would put me in this pro category at
programma per
31
esperti
per year because I have 4
che vi dà
socials.
più
Then
social.
you can have 6 or 15 socials depending on where you are in your doTERRA social journey, whether you have a lot of Facebook groups that you're managing and want to connect,
Esatto,
whether
come
you
dicevamo,
have
se avete moltissimi
a lot of
gruppi
Pinterest
Facebook
boards,
da
all of
gestire,
that is
allora
different.
magari
But the important thing to
il
know is
prezzo che
the
vedete,
plan is
si
the
chiama
same in
expert,
terms of feature set.
ecco, magari
So
questa
everything I
membership
showed you
salsa di
today,
costo,
as well
che
as
vi
mobile
consente
app,
di
which
connettere
we'll
15
highlight at
profili
another
social,
time, is all available to you when you select your plan. And I hope that answers your questions.
Hey Raquel, for existing members, how easy is it for them to upgrade their accounts if they're already signed up?
Great question. So if you are already signed up and you want to switch, let's say I started on starter because that's conservative, but I'm loving it, I'm developing my doTERRA journey, I can move up to, let's say, 6 or even 15, not a problem. We recommend contacting us directly to ensure you're not double billed. So that would be going to the doTERRA@PrimaRepublic.com email address, which is right here. So you can take a screenshot of this, or again, I put this in the chat for everyone. And that's the best way to sign up or to upgrade your profilo
expert o qualsiasi altra
membership. We had some great questions come through. Another question is, as you know, a lot of our wellness advocates operate teams and like to share their access to various platforms across their teams. Is there any way they can do that with doTERRA Social, or will they all need to
Un'altra domanda
sign in
fantastica è per coloro di voi che collaborano con molte persone
really great question. So
come
yes,
poter dare l'accesso
everyone
a
on the
social ai
platform
membri
will
del
need to
vostro
have
team.
a login, and that is again through the doTERRA Social ID. However, you'll also notice that they're teammates. So you can have up to 2 other people assisting, because it's 3 people total per account. So this is really helpful if maybe you are a leader and you have an assistant helping you on social, maybe your husband and wife team, whatever that may be. You can have up to 2 people in the platform as well.
Fantastic. And is that through sharing login details, or do they configure and allow access to other members once signed into the platform?
Questa feature?
Great question. So once you have your own accounts, what you're able to do is go to the settings,
dovete andare sui
scroll down, and you can right here invite other people into the platform. So I have Roxana as my teammate, so you can give them specific privileges within that as well.
Ovviamente la piattaforma vi consente di invitare solo altri 2 membri perché voi siete considerati il membro numero 1.
So, would you be able to just give an update to the group on the current state of the iOS version versus the Android version via the Google Play Store?
Absolutely. So as mentioned, we're working very hard on always improving our product. And our mobile app is completely night and day where it is now to where it was previously. So we have the iOS fully available, and I'm so sorry I couldn't show it today, guys. I was restricted by Zoom, but that is you can schedule there, you can connect your social media pages, you can filter through the library, so fully utilize it as you do on the desktop, except on the go. And then there are a few differences in our update stages between Android and iOS. So on the Android device, the filtering in the content library is in progress. Editing previously scheduled content is in progress.
Ma ci stiamo lavorando,
quindi like a quick hack between creating content and then going back into the asset manager we're updating that as well. And then your compliance, which is a massive part of the platform, which I completely forgot to highlight, so completely use it full circle. That is all here. So with that said, the Android, even though it's a few slight paces behind iOS, is going to be brought up to par and beyond very, very shortly. Our team is working very hard on that. But quickly to highlight what I mean by compliance, which is again live in mobile, is we do have a compliance capture here. So if I'm ever typing a red list word,
quindi se sto per scrivere o se sto scrivendo una parola che è considerata sulla nostra lista rossa,
cures XYZ, which we know is a no-no, and I go to schedule it,
e poi clicco su schedule,
this will flag
su
it,
posta.
should have flagged it, but I believe it was COVID as the
una parola
no.
sulla lista nera,
Some content here. Yep, and here it is.
E ovviamente vi viene subito segnalato il fatto che voi state postando una parola che non è conforme.
Claim, and it brings you directly to doTERRA's compliance policy and instructs you to override this. Or to review this as well. So compliance is a massive piece of the platform, just as a safety net more than anything. And that is available both on desktop and mobile.
E funziona sia da diciamo da computer sia che
we have one technical question here from Danny, which I'll just read if that's okay.
Sure.
I have different email addresses used for my doTERRA login than compared to my Insta login. I tried connecting, but it says I have no Insta accounts to add, but it's because they are under different email addresses. How can I change that?
Great question. So for anything specific to your personal account, we recommend reaching out immediately to our support team and they'll assist. And that's because obviously we don't want you sharing your emails on live web in front of, let's see, over 478 people. But what is helpful there is Instagram Business has a lot of restrictions just in the nature of how that's set up. So if you can connect it, typically that's because maybe the Instagram Business page is not set up to or connected to a business page. Maybe it's in a creator mode versus business mode. So there's a lot of nuances that go with Instagram connectivity. But the good news is having different email addresses does not play a role whatsoever in that. My Facebook email is different than my doTERRA email, which is different than everything. So that is not a problem because you're going off of the connection of your account, not to doTERRA specifically.
Di scriverci all'indirizzo email che vi abbiamo mostrato prima.
Great, thank you for that. And would you be able just to cover the use on fonts? We had a question regarding one of our members trying to use their own fonts. They associate with their own branding, but they're not able to use that font. Could you just cover that area for us, please?
Yeah, so at this time, you cannot upload your own fonts. But we are planning a massive update to our graphics editor and capabilities later this quarter. So while you're on your doTERRA journey with us on doTERRA Social, you'll notice a lot of updates because we take pride in listening to your feedback and making these changes. So just because it's not right now doesn't mean it's not going to happen in a few months. So thank you for that, and we're really excited to show you what we come up with in a few months.
Non vuol dire che in qualche mese non ci lavoreremo su e magari potreste usarlo.
Thank you, Cal. And we've had one question regarding WhatsApp. Would you be able to demonstrate again how you can still share content via the various platforms through the share tool?
Yes, so unfortunately, again, I'm unable to share my phone, which is really heartbreaking, but it's really easy to share not only to WhatsApp, to Telegram, to Messenger, to whatever apps you work in and operate your business in. All you have to do is go to the doTERRA Social mobile app and click share, and then we will highlight that. And as mentioned, we're going to record a part 2 to this where we can have the mobile overview and share that and put that on the landing page so you can see all the really great ways not only can you share to the top 6 socials that we support, but the socials beyond.
la piattaforma accessibile da cellulare.
Thank you. And then could you just quickly go through the various team member levels that you can add and the level of access that they each have?
Sure. So the best way to go into that is actually to go into the help center and learn about it, because there's just small nuances between each member level. So what we can do is just quickly go here and see it. So these are the different roles. The client role, so to speak, is the most restricted. Typically, we see that if we are collaborating, that people invite their teammates as members because they don't want the ability for them to change their admin settings. If you're okay with that, definitely go in admin mode. But yes, it is admin or member that we typically see the most.
Thank you. Ines, any questions raised from your side that you'd like to cover?
Sorry, just trying to answer questions here on the chat. No, I think it was a good overview. I think we do have still a few questions. As Raquel said, the customer service is ready to help, and also your MDMs should be able to help you as well. And as we said in the beginning, we have launched at the moment the platform in English and German due to the demand, but if there's more demand for other markets to move into it, I know this is a big question for everyone. And so definitely we want to reach as many people as we can. So if you are in a market and there's demand, just let us know.
Per ora abbiamo detto questa piattaforma, il contenuto di questa piattaforma è prevalentemente in inglese, ma se vedete che nel vostro team o nel vostro mercato c'è particolare interesse per questa piattaforma, fatelo sapere al vostro development manager. E noi ovviamente potremo aiutarvi a avere più contenuti in quella lingua.
Absolutely.
Giusto per rinfrescarvi la memoria, ragazzi, dai setting, dalle impostazioni, andate in alto sul tastino blu e potete vedere tutte le lingue in cui potete accedere alla piattaforma.
So German, English, Spanish, French,
tedesco, inglese, spagnolo, francese, italiano, russo e
and just in case anyone was wondering, if you're in let's say the Russian or Eastern European market and you work also on VK and OK, which are the top social media channels there, we do support those as well. So when you change and connect your pages, that will
se siete in Russia o diciamo nei mercati dell'est Europa, ci sono anche le piattaforme social utilizzate in quei mercati.
Again, I know it will be helpful for the group. We've had some great questions come through, naturally a lot of requests for the suggested copy that you've seen that we currently provide in English and German. We will definitely be looking in the future to accommodate, I'm seeing Romanian, Dutch, various requests for languages. But we hope that the key features and the simple navigation of the platform in the meantime will really help for those of you that do feel comfortable in English and to utilize this tool to translate those posts into your localized language. We really hope that in the meantime you can enjoy the platform, make the most of all the content and the correct Europe product imagery and all those exciting features that we've included and shared with you today. Thank you very much again.
Grazie a tutti per questa meravigliosa presentazione, grazie a Raquel, grazie a Ines.
And our team at doTERRA Europe. It's really appreciated. But more importantly, thank you to everyone that's attended. We really hope that this helps you
grazie a tutti voi che siete stati con noi questa sera.
Please continue to give your feedback.
Continuate a darci feedback. Darci feedback su questa piattaforma e non vediamo l'ora di vedervi utilizzare.
Yes, so please contact us directly via the chat on the platform in your accounts. Again,
se avete qualsiasi tipo di domanda e siete sulla piattaforma,
or you can email us directly at doTERRA@promorepublic.com. And again, all of our information is in the chat box on Zoom, so feel free to contact us directly.
Just wait that this webinar is going to be available on the doTERRA Europe YouTube channel. So if
Questo
you
webinar
want to
sarà
watch it, please go
disponibile
there.
sul canale europeo di doTERRA Europe.
Thank you, Ines. Thanks, Raquel. And thank you, everybody. We hope you have a wonderful evening in Europe.
Grazie mille a tutti voi per essere stati qua con noi e speriamo di vedervi